fire, burning hotter, climbing higher. 1,000 horses in my veins, freedom pumping through my chains. Born to blaze, born to fly, through the steel and smoke we defy. Born to blaze, can't slow me down. The king of the track, the roar of the crown.
We are live once again here on DRSN, bringing you coverage of the wide open Thunder Valley Night Fight. Night Fight sounds kind of, I think it sounds a little out of order there, but we're going to call that the Thunder Valley Night Fight here. Wide open iRacing. Something a little different, something we haven't covered in quite a while. Super late models. 250 laps here at Bristol. A little bit different rules here if you haven't been here before with the wide open iRacing. 50 lap segments, no cautions. Only cautions that will come out will be the cautions at the end of stage. So interesting setup here tonight. 250 laps, 5 different segments or stages as we're going to call it. 50 lap stages, no cautions. Qualifying underway right now. We'll take a look here at the top of the leaderboard. Ethan George right now on the pole at a 14:15. Right there behind him, it's Tristan Combs, Cody Isom, Dave Shute, Michael Lynchfield. Lynchfield was fastest in practice, but did not muster out a good qualifying lap here. Going to be in 6th. Peyton Hamlet now jumps up to the top into 4th right now. Charlotte Peters in 7th. Doug Smith 8th. Tyler Chapman, Ronald Hall. That's your top 10 right now here in qualifying. As we're getting underway, we got about a minute and a half left to go in qualifying. It looks like we had 38 cars in the lobby for practice. 22 cars have taken a lap here in qualifying, so we'll see just how that plays out, how many cars are going to line up for this 250 lap feature. We tend to see this often on some of these races, some of these last minute pickups like this, as you see guys come in and join the practice, but fail to qualify and will jump out before the race even starts. But it looks like we got one driver making his way out. Looks like Brandon Gaither. Let's see if we get a lap here from Brandon. Jump on board with him here. Super late models here at Bristol. They are blistering fast. 50 laps. I don't know if we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see any fuel issues here. So 50 laps. No need for any kind of green flag pit stops. No damage in this either. So no need for any fast repairs. And I believe we have 3 green, white checkered attempts. So thank you for being here. If you haven't been here with DRSN before, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. Brandon Gaither going to get here. We have 3 laps of qualifying. He's going to get his 2nd lap in right now to 14:91 on the first lap. He is last on the chart. The second lap's going to come across much better to 14:31. Puts him up to 9th to 15 of Brandon Gaither. Trying to get himself up into, he's in the top 10 right now. Can he get himself into the top 5 here? Going to come across the line. Lap number 3 for Brandon. It's going to be even a little better at 14:28. That's good enough for 6th. So Brandon now up to 6th. 4 seconds left in qualifying. That is going to wrap it up. We're going to get going here, lining up here for our 250 lap feature race here tonight. It looks like I said, we had 23 cars take a lap in qualifying. We'll see just how many make their way out to the starting grid. I think we have about a minute and a half here to go get gridded up. We'll see. Looks like everybody's getting out there right now. We're going to go down to the grid and we'll bring our starting lineup here for 250 laps with a wide open iRacing Thunder Valley Night Fight. All right, on the pole, it's going to be the 78 of Ethan George. Stays outside, starting in 2nd. It's going to be Tristan Combs back in the 2nd row. Cody Isom with Peyton Hamlet going to start outside him in the 4th spot. Back to row number 3, starting in 5th. It's going to be Dave Shute, and Brandon Gaither. Back to row number 5, Michael Litchfield. Charlotte Peters is going to start out there in the 8th spot. Back to 9th, it's Doug Smith and Tyler Chapman starting in 10th. Back to row number 6, starting in 11th on the inside, Ronald Hall with Marshall Taylor to his outside, starting in 12th. Back to 13th now, it'll be Jordan Whitting and Curtis Mitchell. Back to the 8th row, Patrick Craven and Joe Stafford going to start outside in the 16th starting spot. Back to the 17th, inside of row number 9, Simon Sanders and Bill Daniels. In the 10th row, it's going to be Justin Childers and Ashton Raymond. You get back to row number 11, starting in 21st, it's John Miles with Cody Troyer to his outside. And this looks like it's going to be the last row. It looks like we have 24 cars making their way out to the grid right now. So starting in 23rd, it's going to be Ricky Miles in the 5. And starting in 24th, it is going to be the 26 of Hayden Herman. That looks like that rounds out all the cars that have made their way out to the starting grid. 24 cars, 250 laps of action here at Bristol. It is going to be fast. It is going to be reckless. All right, so let's see if you can keep tires on it. No damage. I'm not really know if I've ran them too many races here without damage. I'm assuming there's still going to be tire wear. So we'll see if you keep the tires up underneath them as we're going to roll off the starting grid. Ethan and Combs are going to bring us to the line. Our pace car's going to roll up turn number 2 here. We're going to go green flag next time by. Ethan George down there in the 78, Combs to his outside. Looking for a lot of side-by-side racing in this. I don't think we're going to see single file. You're going to have multiple grooves with these super late models here at Bristol. They'll be on the top, they'll be on the bottom. I wouldn't even be surprised to see some three wide racing here with us. So George is going to bring us to the starting line, roll off at turn number 4. It looks like we're going to go around one more time here. Pace car is going to stay out for one more lap. Still 24 cars on the grid. So we had 38 in the lobby, 38 cars made some practice laps, but only 24 are going to start the race here. 38 would have been crazy. All right, this time by we will go green for 50 laps of action. If you missed it early when we first got on air live, 50 lap stages, no cautions. Cautions will only fly at the end of each stage. Pace car's going to pull off pit road or down pit road here. George going to bring us line, green flag in the air here for the wide open iRacing. 78 of George is going to take the lead into 1. Combs with a good run up on the outside. 98 of Hamlet now is going to make his way up into 2nd. So that bottom looks to be pretty dominant right here. As Hamlet takes a peek to the outside of George. Does not have the run through 3 and 4 across the line first time by. It's going to be Ethan George. So George, Hamlet, Combs continues to fall back. So we got a car around right there. It looks like it's Michael Litchfield in the 75. He just quickly disappears. I'm not sure how you disappear that quick off the racetrack. But it looked like Litchfield with some problems. He's going to pit. We got, looks like Marshall Taylor and Doug Smith also making their way down pit road. Up front it is still Ethan George. Cody Isom was now up to 2nd. Gaither's moved back a little bit. Isom now up a spot, started in 3rd, up to 2nd, and that number 12 Exide. Gaither right there with him in the 15. Gaither had a good qualifying lap, started in 6th, now up to 3rd. Shoot now up to 4th. Litchfield all the way back to 24th in this field. He's down on, I think he's still getting some, he's not getting any repairs, we don't have any damage. It looks like Litchfield is just out. We'll stay up here with the front with our leader. Take a look here at the 98 of Hamlin, started in 4th and now falling back to 7th. Lost 3 spots here, trying to make his way back up. Way up on the outside, that looks like the 33. I don't see a 33. Curtis Mitchell up there. Lap car trying to make that outside work. Up front, though, it is still Ethan George coming up to put a lap on the 5 of Ricky Miles. So we're going to see a lot of lap traffic here tonight. George now going to put a lap on the 5 of Miles. Got Combs back here going out of a chute. Combs started outside the front row, fell back just a little bit. Dave Chute got by him. Combs trying to fight his way back to 2 car. Looks like a lap car in there. That's Bill Daniels. Looks like he's struggling a little bit. Going back here to this battle with Hamlet. Hamlet to the outside of Whitting. Has it tucked in behind it. Still with that lap car. Daniels to the outside. Chute right in front of him. Side by side right here. The 98 trying to get by that lap car. He wants to set his sights right ahead of him there on the 6 spot running Jordan Whitting, but right side by side right in front of them, you see Combs and Chute trying to make that outside line work. Off of 4, we got smoke right in front of this battle. I couldn't see who that was. Looks like the 12 of Isom goes around. He's going to make contact here with the 2. The 2 of Daniels is going to go around, going to back up the racetrack, collect a few more cars. The 5 going to get involved. Looks like the 9 also involved. Unfortunate there for Daniels. He gets turned around, slides up the racetrack, collects a few more cars. We're still green. We still got this battle going on right here. This is Chute Hamlet, the 32 of Whitting right there as well. So this is 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Big pileup right in front of this battle here. Trying to find out who that was. It looks like Stafford involved. You see the 30 of Stafford still trying to get it rolling. We got a tire rolling down the racetrack. Your leader now is Brandon Gaither. It looks like our early race leader got involved in that somewhere. I'm just going to have to go to like a wide shot, maybe like a fan cam or something so you can see everything that's happening here. Kind of zoomed out kind of far, but you see Gaither, Whitting, and Hamlet. That's now your top 3. Our early race leader is falling back. Litchfield was up there towards the front. He's now out of this. We have got carnage everywhere. It's kind of hard to even keep up with all. There goes the 90 around. That is Simon Sanders. He comes around. Whitting now to the front. We got 3-way battle up in the front. Whitting's gonna hang on to the lead. It looks like a couple of lap cars. Now the other thing about what they're gonna do here at the wide open iRacing is when that caution comes out here for the stage break, you'll be able to go around and unlap yourself as many times as you possibly can. No matter how many laps you're down. We've only got 10 cars on the lead lap right now. As we look at Stafford here in the 30, taking a look underneath the 37 of Peters. This is for a position. This is 9th and 10th. Take a look at Gaither. Gaither got Combs and Ethan George. Ethan George back's falling now back to 5th. He led quite a few laps earlier. Got involved in one of those lap car incidents. He fell back to 5th right now, trying to make his way back to the front. Hamlet, Gaither, that is your top 3. We are on lap number 21. We're almost halfway through stage number 1. Take a look at the distance. You can see Hamlet right there behind Whitting, trying to reel him in. More lap cars up in front of this group. We'll look back here. Look here, Tristan Combs, he's in 4th right now. He's got the 15 of Gaither right there in front of him in 3rd. George still back here in 5th, trying to make his way back up to the front. I think he's just trying to survive this stage now at this point. We currently have 10 cars left on lead lap. Dave Chute back there in 10th. He is the last car on the lead lap. We got a good battle up here in the front. It's Whitting and Hamlet 1-2. Driving down into the sunshine. We'll come around next time by. We'll jump on the on board wheels. You can see how hard it is to drive in to that sunlight down the back straightaway, actually down the front chute. You can see that light just shining right into turn number 1 here. Jump on the nose here, Hamlet in 2nd, trying to get around Whitting for the lead early on here. Lap 27 of stage number 1, 50 laps per stage. We got a good battle going on for 1st and 2nd and for 3rd and 4th. Gaither and Combs going at it here for the 3rd and 4th spot. That 33 car is a lap car of Curtis Mitchell right there behind him. Keep an eye up front. Hamlet trying to make the outside work. We haven't seen anybody really make that outside line work yet today. Whitting on the bottom. Hamlet tucks in behind him. So right now it is Jordan Whiting. I'm not sure which one. We're going to call it Whitting. It's probably wrong. Hamlet right there behind him. Gaither is making up some ground. So is Combs. We're about to have a 4-car battle for the lead here as Gaither, right now, last time by, fastest car on the racetrack was Brandon Gaither by about almost a full 1/10 of a second. Whiting opens up the bottom of the racetrack, lets Hamlet get down there. Hamlet picks his nose in there. Whitting was able to get a run off of 4, take that lead back, but they're still side by side through 1 and 2 right now. Lap car up on the outside. He's going to stay there. Our leaders are going to get into some more lap traffic. We can see the 37 of Charlotte Peters. That's the 10th place car right there. Going to go around. Peters getting involved there. I'm not sure who that was with, but looks like we got another incident here. Lap 33. Our leaders are able to make their way through. At least Whitting was. Hamlet kind of fell back. He's got the 15 of Gaither now right there on his back bumper. So watch Brandon Gaither. He's been quick. Can he get around Hamlet here for second? See if he can reel in Jordan Whitting for the lead. Combs back there in 4th now. Our early race leader, Ethan George, up in the 78. Makes some contact there with the 5. He's going to go around. Hard contact with the outside wall for Ethan George, but you can see the car just magically repairs itself. He's going to keep rolling. That looked like the 5 of Jeffrey Beck. Jordan Whitting, Peyton Hamlet. Thanks for jumping in again tonight, Deborah. Fast and furious here tonight at Bristol for the super late model. Jordan Whitting, Peyton Hamlet, Brandon Gaither, Tristan Combs. That's your top 4. That's a little ways back to the 12 of Cody Isom. Isom spun around earlier, so top 4 kind of set sail here. 12 laps left to go. Oh, the round goes to 31. Right there. Oh, and around goes our leader. A spun car down on the bottom of the racetrack, kind of rolled up in front of our leader. Whitting is going to go around. The 9 is going to get involved there. A Childers as well. That's a different number 9. The scoreboard not always matches the numbers on the cars. So your leader now is Brandon Gaither. We've had our leader taken out a couple different times now. You can see here the 5 of Ashton Raymond right there. It's 40 on the leaderboard, 5 on the car. And it looks like we may be down to just 17 cars still left on the racetrack. Get back up front. It's Brandon Gaither. Tristan Combs is a little ways back, about 3 seconds. About 3 seconds back to the battle with Combs and Hamlet. Hamlet now in 4th. Whitting's now falling back to Combs in 2nd, Hamlet in 3rd. Whitting's still in 4th. And around goes the 9 one more time, upside down. There's Jordan Whitting also getting involved in it. So Combs with a wild ride right there down the front straightaway. Whitting also getting involved in that incident. We've got 46 laps left to go here in stage number 1. I believe we're down to about maybe 16 or 17 cars. We'll see how many come back out after stage 2. Here's your 2nd place runner number. And around goes Raymond one more time in the 5. He's doing some donuts down here on the back chute. All right, Gaither Hamlet, that's your top 2. It's Isom back. He's now made his way back up to 3rd. Ethan George in 4th. Whitting back in 5th. Here's your view from the grandstands, right? Looking down into turn number 1, you can see the 78 of George trying to make his way back to the front. We might just stay on this view for a little bit so we can see everything that happens. Gaither right there with the lead. I'm not sure who that is behind him there. It looks like the 37. Now Peters is out of this race. So round goes the 9 one more time. So Justin Childers, that's not, who's the night, who's Combs? That's Combs right there. It's 00 on the leaderboard, number 9 on the race car for Combs. All right, little crazy action going on here at Bristol tonight for the wide open iRacing, and we're going to come around here off of turn number 4, going to come across the line. That is going to be the end of stage number 1. Brandon Gaither, Peyton Hamlet, Cody Isom, Ethan George, Jordan Whitting. That is going to round out our top 5. 9 cars left on the lead lap. Now what you're going to see, we'll come in pit for some fuel there, but what you're going to see is they're going to allow everybody on the racetrack to go around and do a wave run, get their laps back. I think we can catch a little bit. There's so many. There's so many incidents out here on the racetrack. I don't even know if we can go back and watch them all. We'll go and just pick one here. We'll see this incident here with Raymond. So the 5 and the 122 getting together. Up there in front, it looks like the 20 also involved in this. There's one of our incidents. So we'll take a look at there. It's one with Tristan Combs here in the 9. This was quite a ride here from Tristan. Looks like the 20 down here on the bottom of the racetrack is just going to take a... So Combs tries to come down the racetrack. Doesn't see that the 20's there. Catches the left rear quarter of the 9. He's going to go around. We'll go back here and see if we can catch another incident here. This is with Cody Troyer. So Cody there on the 122. The 9 spin on the bottom. He just catches the outside wall. The 5 car comes along and finishes him out. That's the 5 of, that's the 30 car actually on the Austin Raymond. So that's another one of our incidents. Go back to see if we can find another one. Play a few replays here and there. Tristan Combs once again here in the 9. Gonna go around. Hard contact from Combs. The 98 is gonna get involved in it as well. So we're gonna go back to live time here. Pit stops all happening here on lap 50. Your leader is the 78 now, George. George did a good job getting in and out of the pits. Going to take the lead here. That looks like we have some black flags. I'm not quite sure because I don't see anything on my timing and scoring. Because your leader at the end of the stage was Jordan Whitting. Probably Whiting. I'm going to call that Whiting. So Jordan Whiting there. That comes back out in second, George. And you can see the drivers whizzing around the outside of the racetrack, all getting their laps back. So it looks like we're down to, best I can tell, we're down to 17 cars. Aiden Herman out here is in 17th. 18th place car would be Peyton Hamlet. So we're down to 17 out of the 24 that started this race. So first stage, a little bit of a crash fest. We'll see if it cleans up here in stage number 2. But no cautions, no damage. Ethan George, Jordan Whiting, Taylor Chapman now up to 3rd. Cody Isom's made a nice recovery after that spin earlier, back up to 4th. Brandon Gaither there in the 5th spot. Joe Stafford, Dave Shoup. Let's take a look at our top 10 here real quick. So here's our top 10. We're going to go back to green flag. George Whiting, Chapman, Isom, Brandon Gaither, Joe Stafford, Shoup, Daniels, Curtis Mitchell, and Doug Smith. That is your current top 10. We're going to go back to green flag racing here to start off stage number 2. Jump on board here with Ethan George, our leader. Lights are still on the pace car. iRacing pace car lights still out. We're going to go around at least one more time. Roll down the back straightaway. Alright, my name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's kind of a last minute thrown together broadcast here for Wide Open iRacing. I want to thank them for inviting us in. Next race coming up on DRSN next Tuesday night. We have the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. If you like yourself some sprint car racing, you like some dirt racing, do not miss that one. That's going to be a great show Tuesday night. And Thursday night, we're back with the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series on Thursday night. And then Friday, we end the week off next week with Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. Lots of action coming your way here on DRSN. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of it. All right, we're about to go green here one more time to start segment number 2. Ethan George, Jordan Whiting going to bring us to the line. Pace car pulls down in pit road off of Ford. Coming to the restart zone. Green flag in here one more time. George Whiting going to take that outside line. That 32 looking really good out there. Can you get a run off at 2? Can you clear George? And around goes the 30 of Stafford. He just lost it off the corner all by himself. Going to spin, make some contact with that inside wall. Whiting settles down behind George there in the second spot. The 39 of Chapman looking to make the outside work, but it looks like the bottom line is just dominant. That outside line does not seem to be coming in enough, at least not early on in the stage here, but I think you're going to see it more as the stage goes on. So we're 9 laps already into stage number 2. Whiting able to get a look underneath George. Heading into 3 and 4. Can you get a run off of 4? George fighting back up on the outside. They're side by side. George getting a little contact with the outside wall right there. He is going to have to fall back here. The 32 of Whiting, our stage 1 winner, is going to jump back out in front. So it's still Whiting and George. That's 1 and 2 right there. Right behind him, Chapman and Isom. Our top 5 kind of smoothed out right here. Gaither now up to 5th. And around goes Isom. Isom goes around off the nose of the 15 of Gaither. Big pile up right here. The 33 is going to get involved of Mitchell. Also, see 5 of Ricky Miles also spun around. Take a quick look at that one. You can see Cody Isom. We'll see what happens here. Did he get turned by the 15 or did he just lose this on his own? So we're going to head down to the corner right here. Gaither gets down to the bottom. I think Gaither thought he had the room right there. He gets into the left rear quarter, turns the 12 around. And then it's just a pile up from there. 6, 7, 8 cars all involved in this one. Ricky Miles comes in and piles it at the end. All right, back to green flag racing. Jordan Whiting still out in front. Ethan George in second. That's your top 2. Then it's a little ways back now to Chapman. Chapman about a second back. Gaither also back ways. We've got a couple more lap cars here in the mix. We're already back in the lap traffic after that incident here in the middle of stage number 2. Taking a look here at the 30th Stafford. He has got Hayden Herman right there behind him. They're trying to. This is a battle for 9th and 10th. Dave Shute up here in 5th right now. He's got Ricky Miles, a lap car right in front of him. Right behind him is the 2 of Daniels. This is the battle for 5th and 6th on the racetrack. Chapman in the 39. He's up on the outside of the 20. The 20 car involved in our last incident. That's Patrick Craven. Craven trying to get himself unlapped here. Chapman trying to put him another lap down right now. So it looks like that's the 15 of Gaither right there behind Chapman. So that's the battle right now for 3rd and 4th between Chapman and Gaither. Chapman opens up the bottom. Gaither gets underneath him. Same mistake he made earlier when he got into the 12 car. This time he backs out of it. And a big wiggle there from Chapman off the quarter. Chases the car up the racetrack, makes a little contact with the outside wall. That's going to let Gaither get down to the bottom of the racetrack. They're side by side. Gaither's going to clear him right here. Chapman looks really loose right there. He is really struggling with that car. He's going to dive underneath Gaither. Not going to be able to make it. Looked like he's going to make a late dive right there, but it settles in behind him. Your leader now, Jordan Whiting, about a second clear of George. The 33 car of Mitchell is a lap down right there behind our leader. All right, looks like things have started to settle down a little bit. We've got Looks like we're down to about 16 cars on the racetrack. The last car on the racetrack is 16th running Justin Childers. See if we can find us a good battle. Looks like George might be closing in back on Whiting about 7/10 of a second. It was over a full second. As Whiting had to struggle with that lap car, I think that opens up the bottom of the racetrack. That 33 of Mitchell racing here with the leader, trying to get his lap back. That's allowing George to start to close in a little bit. Whiting going to move back down to the bottom of the racetrack, and contact right here with the 33 and the 26. The 26, trying to find a 26 on my leaderboard. I don't see one, so we'll have to figure out who that is. One of the worst things jumping into these quick races like this, the numbers on the cars don't always match the leaderboard, so sometimes it makes it a little difficult. All right, George now within about 7/10 of a second of our leader. Let's see if he can close that gap. We'll find us another battle on the racetrack. There's a bit of battle going on here. This is Cody Troyer and Doug Smith. This is a battle for position. This is for 12th and 13th. 98 is Smith up on the outside. Troyer down on the bottom of the racetrack. Good battle going on there for about mid-pack action, almost back of the pack action now at this point for 12th and 13th. We've only got about 16 cars left on the racetrack. The 30th Stafford's been involved in quite a few incidents now, but he's back up to 7th. Ricky Childers back here in the 50, or Ricky Miles, sorry, back here in the 15th spot. In the dare number 5. But up front right now, it's all Jordan Whiting. Now about 6/10 of a second clear. We're on lap 81. We're 19 laps away from the end of stage number 2. Good shot down the back straightaway here at Bristol. Jordan Whiting getting some separation now. He does have a couple lap cars in between himself and George. Sun looks like it's starting to set here at Bristol. I think we're going to end this race in the dark. We'll see how that plays out. We did not get a sim time when we started, but it does look like the sun is going down. Another battle on the racetrack right here. This is 69 and the 31. This is Miles and Taylor going at it. This is from 8th and 9th. Miles in 8th, Taylor in the 9th spot. More smoke on the racetrack. Somebody else spinning right there in front of it. Can't see who that is down on the bottom of the racetrack. Taylor's going to fall back just a little bit. The 9 looks like a lap car of Childers going to make his way around Cody Isom right there as well. So Isom, this is for 9th. So Isom, that is for position right there. Childers is a lap down, but here comes Isom now trying to make his way back up. He's been up front early. Started in 3rd, but he's had a few incidents, and I thought the 31 was going to catch a left rear right there. I do like that throwback 31. That is a Neil Bonnet throwback paint job from Marshall Taylor in the 31. Good looking paint job out there. Some of these guys probably just threw on some whatever they could find on trading paints. Probably not cars a lot of these guys run all the time, but I could be wrong. So now about a second gap between our leaders. George trying to close in, and it looks like the 9's going to go around. He's going to slide up the racetrack. That was the 9 of Childers going around. We're going to see if we can take a quick look at that, because it looked like he just barely missed our leaders. So it looks like he made a little contact there between the 9 and the 12. Is going to send Childers around. And then he disappears. Comes back up, catches the 31 right there, and that's going to send him all the way around down the front straightaway. And then he's just going to let the car roll up the racetrack. Just about collects our leader. Here comes George in 2nd. He is going to miss him. We're back to live time. That was Gaither. Gaither was not able to miss the spinning car number 9. So if you're new to iRacing, take that to hint. if you make a mistake or you get turned, whatever, whether it's your mistake or not, hold the brake. Give these guys somewhere to go, because the 9 car just kind of rolled right up there on the racetrack. Doesn't give your leaders really a chance to find a way around you when you're spinning around on the racetrack like that. So George now about a second and almost 1.2, about second and 3/4 behind Whiting right now. So it looks like Whiting's going to easily win segment or stage number 2 here if he can just stay out in front and stay out of trouble. We've got 9 cars left on the lead lap right now. Take a look at this battle here for 3rd and 4th. You can see Bill Daniels. He has got the 15 at Gaither right there in front of him. Trying to reel him in. The number 2 Oriole sponsor car. Not really making up a whole lot of ground now at this point. See the 5 of Ricky Miles. It looks like he's coming off pit road there. All right, we're 3 laps left away. Let's take a look at our leader here. The 32 of Jordan Whiting. Just a couple more laps to go. He'll take the win here in stage number 2. Ethan George in 2nd. Gaither and Daniels. Daniels our big mover of the race as well. Up 14 spots. Started back in 16th. Now up to 4. Excuse me. Started back in 18th and up to 4th. Side-by-side battle here. This is Doug Miles in the 98. 31 of Taylor. That was 4th position. They are both a lap now. All right. Roll through 3 and 4. We're going to come to the line. The yellow flag will fly for the end of stage number 2. Jordan Whiting going to lead us across the stripe. Ethan George in 2nd. Gaither. Daniels going to come across in 4th. Dave Shute. Tyler Chapman. Joe Stafford. That is going to round out our top 7, actually. So let's just go back a few more so we make it sense to get to a round number. So 8th is going to be John Miles. 9th, Cody Isom. 10th is going to be Coden Troyer. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, give myself a chance to grab a quick drink, because we're going to go into caution here for the 2nd stage. Get going here on stage number 3. So maybe something some of our drivers here could use tonight. AI Chief, smarter strategy, real-time call, 0 excuses. AI Chief, the crew chief that talks back and backs it up. AIChiefRacing.com/DRSN. Take a look. It's a great piece of software. They're still working on it a little bit, though. Still getting it fine-tuned, but we'll be right back.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
We're back alive. Lights are still on the pace car. We're going to go around at least another lap and a half. Between 3 and 4 right now. Your leader, Ethan George. Jordan Whiting there in 2nd. Bill Daniels, Brandon Gaither. That's your top 4. And then it's Dave Shute in the DRSN number 75. Does it say 78 on the car? I think 75 on the car. 75 on the leaderboard. 39 at Chapman, Stafford, and Troyer. So we've got, looks like about 15 cars have got themselves back on the lead lap. And actually, that looks like all the cars that are on the racetrack. So 15 cars left in this race. They're all on the lead lap right now. But expect us to get some lap traffic here early. It's been fast, it's been furious, it's been chaotic. Wide open iRacing Thunder Valley night rate fight. That's a hard one to say because it just doesn't fit right in my head. Alright, green flag in air one more time. It's been either Ethan George or Jordan Whiting most of the night here. Watch the 78's going to get the lead right here at a good pit stop. Opens up the bottom of the racetrack. The 32 is going to take a look. George has to hold it up on the top. He sees the 32 with his nose underneath that left rear quarter. Has to check up. Side and around goes George. George's going to lose it in the middle of the corner right there. Going to spin around. I'm not sure how he did not get hit by anybody, but he is going to keep rolling. He's back there in 8th now. All the way back to 10th. So they've made enough of the separation. And around goes our leader. Whiting's going to go around. That is going to put the 2 of Daniels out in front. Let's see if we can see what happened to Whiting. We were just jumping back over there. Let's see if he had any contact here, if this was all by himself. Come up on a couple of lap cars. I have to guess he gets into the back of the 69 and it's just going to go around. So our 2 fastest drivers all night long has been Jordan Whiting and Ethan George. They find themselves back in the middle of the pack right now. Your leader is the 2 of Bill Daniels. Second is now Tyler Chapman. Third is Joe Stafford. Cody Isom still there in 4th. Cody's been running close to the front most of the night. Been involved in a couple incidents, but he's back up to 4th. We've now got 12 cars on the lead lap as Miles, Herman, and Ricky and John both have gone a lap down. Both Miles have gone a lap down here. Alright, take a look here at Chapman and Stafford running side by side. This is 2nd and 3rd. Stafford on the bottom of the racetrack, Chapman up on top. They come across the line here to complete lap number 112. We're 13 laps away from the halfway mark. Good battle going on here for 2nd. A lap car, the 9 car of Childers, right in the middle of the racetrack, just not going anywhere. The 39 of Chapman really has nowhere to go, runs right in the back of him. And around goes the 26 of Herman. Does a nice job of saving it right there, but just about gets into the 12 of Isom. So Isom now back to 5th. Your leader is still Bill Daniels. Stafford right there behind him now in 2nd. About a 1.5 seconds back now at this point. Chapman in 3rd. Gaither and Isom. Looks like Daniels with the problem. Daniels going to get together with the 39. The 39, that's about the 2nd incident he's been involved here lately. Or it might have been a lap car right in front of him. Around goes our leader. And Chapman as well. So Chapman falling down. So let's see if we can see what happened here. Here's our leader, the 2 car. He's going up on the lap car. He's got Ricky Miles to his outside, the 122 right there in front of him. And Miles just comes down off the top of the racetrack. Collects the 2, turns him around, and the 39 Chapman just has nowhere to go and runs right into the back of the leader. So now that is going to move the 30 of Stafford to the lead. Randy Gaither now to 2nd. It's about almost a full 2 seconds back. Shoot now up to 4th. We got Ethan George is finding his way back to 5th. They're mired in some lap traffic right here. You see the 26 of Herman right there in front of the 98 of Smith. That is for position. Smith in 6th. George 5th. George's going to take a look, or excuse me, George's going to take a look to the outside of the 26. He's trying to find his way through traffic, trying to see if he can get it back to the front. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here. 7 different lap leaders. Jordan Whiting's led the most at 64. George with 25. Gaither 16. Daniel, Stafford, Miles, and Smith have all led laps in this race. Alright, let's see if we can find us a good battle here on the racetrack. George to the outside. And another lap car, that 9 car, sitting on the racetrack one more time. Justin Childs one more time involved in another one here. Let's see if we can see what that was about. He's spinning around right here. It looks like something happened right where he's already involved with somebody else. And unfortunately, sitting in the middle of the racetrack. And here comes Ilham. Just going to collect him. All right, we've got 10 cars left on the lead lap. We've got 14 cars left in the race. As we are one lap away from halfway, actually half a lap away from halfway. Your leader is Gaither. And he is going to come across the line halfway, lap 125. Brandon Gaither in the 15. Stafford now back to second after getting involved with that lap car in that incident. Shoot fourth. George now to fifth. This is the battle for third and fourth right here for position. George trying to find his way around the 75 of Shoot. He's going to take a look to the inside right here. Up to the left rear quarter. Shoot with a good run off the top of the racetrack, and he fight him off here. He does down the back straightaway for right now, but he stays up on the top and lets George have the bottom. And I think George is going to clear him off of 4, and he does. So Ethan George now back up to third. He's shooting out of fourth. Smith to fifth. Cody Ilham right there. He's got Ilham and Whiting right there. This is a 3-car battle, this is Ilham and Whiting. This battle for 6th and 7th now at this point. A couple of our sponsors we haven't mentioned. Corbin Matthews, country music singer. If you like good country music, check out Corbin Matthews. Got some new music coming out next Wednesday. Wide open iRacing having us here tonight. Really appreciate it. The leader is the 15. We're at lap 131. 19 laps left to go in stage number 3. Gaither looks underneath the 31 of Taylor. Taylor's the last car on the lead lap right now. He's in 8th. He is now a lap down. Next car in front of our leader is going to be the 32 of Whiting. Whiting's led the most laps in this race, so he's just trying to stay on the lead lap at this point. Get to the stage. Get to the next stage. See if he can get himself back to the front. Big movers of the race. Let's take a look here. Hayden Herman up 14 spots. Stafford up 14. Troyer 13. Carter Brown up 11 spots. And John Miles also up double digits, up 10 positions. All right, here's this battle back here. This is for 6th and 7th. Cody Ilham in the 12. Whiting in the 32. They got the lap car. That is the 2-car of Daniels. Daniels was leading just a little while ago until getting wrapped up in another incident. So Daniels now back to 13th, a lap down. So 14 cars left on the racetrack. The last car on the racetrack is the 5 of Miles. The last car on the lead lap is the 7 of Whiting. Here's our leader. Takes a look underneath Miles right there. Has to pinch it off. Just about turns the car around. Brandon Gaither now trying to put another lap on the 5 of Miles. We jump on board here with our leader. Going to come across the line here. And it looks like that's Whiting on the bottom of the racetrack. So the Whiting looks to got involved in something right there because he's just about ready to go a lap down. Gaither gets into the back of him, gives him a little bit of a shove, and around goes Jordan Whiting. Gaither came up on him in a hurry right there and just gave him a good shove saying, hey, I'm right here, and around he goes. Let's take a quick look at that. See if we can find that on the camera, on the replay, so you can see Whiting right here is just getting rolling again. Gaither comes up behind him. Miles going to come down across the nose of the 32 right there. And as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3, looks like Whiting might have checked up a little bit more than Gaither was expecting, and Gaither just gets in the back of him, turns him up the racetrack in some hard contact with the outside wall. All right, we're on lap 142. 8 laps left to go to complete the end of stage number 3. We got 6 cars left on the lead lap right now. The last car on the lead lap is the 12 of Isom. He's got Stafford right there in front of him. So we have, looks like we still got 14 cars left in the race. Gaither's still trying to put a lap on Ricky Miles. He's going to give him a little bit of bump right there, move him up the racetrack. And around goes our leader. Going to put Ricky Miles down one more lap. Isom's starting to reel in Stafford. We got almost a battle here, or close to a battle. Almost, that didn't sound very good. Close to a battle here for 5th and 6th. That's Stafford and Isom. 5 laps left to go. And a caution will wave one more time here for the end of stage number 3. Your leader is still the 15 of Brandon Gaither. Fury sponsor number 15, the 78 of George in 2nd. Smith, Chute, Stafford rounds out your top 5. 3 laps left to go here in the 3rd stage. Our last car on the racetrack is the 14th running Marshall Taylor. Last car on the lead lap is Cody Isom in the 12. Bristol Motor Speedway, the fantastic facility right here. It just feels like you're in a football stadium. Gaither's going to come across the line, caution in the air. That is going to be the end of stage number 3. George in 2nd. Take a look here at our grid. Our top 10 as they ended stage number 3. It's going to be Brandon Gaither, Ethan George, Doug Smith, Dave Chute, Joe Stafford, Cody Isom in 6th, Cody Troyer in 7th, Hayden Herman 8th, Jordan White in 9th, and John Miles. That rounded out our top 10 here as we come to the end of stage number 3. All right, once again, we're going to step away. Quick word from admin box. If you're either a race control or looking for some cool toys to use during your events when you're racing, to have some programs, some buttons, so you can tell how your pit stops are going to be. I've got a couple of them myself, and they're just fantastic to use. So check out a word here from admin box. Use the code DRSN-box, that's BOXX, for a discount on your order, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. We're back live. Looks like the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go green this time by. We completed 152 laps of this race. So we're going to roll on to stage number 4. The next stage will be at lap 200. It's Ethan George Ethan has done a great job on his pit stops. He has come back out here in the front. Stafford to second. Gaither now falls back to third. A little contact with the 15 and the 13. That's for second and third. Ison now back up to fourth. Here comes the 39 and Chat. Oh, Gaither going to get loose on the bike. Catches that apron on the bottom. Chases the car up the racetrack. Collects the 30 of Stafford. Able to get it gathered up, but it looked like Gaither just got that left front tire down on the apron. Got the car a little bit loose. Chapman now in third here, taking a look underneath Isom. George starting to set sail. Already a second out to the front. That's your 4-car battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Gaither underneath Chapman. That's for third. And a good run here for the 15, getting gathered back up after that near incident with him in the 39. So Gaither back to second. Stafford now trying to get around Chapman for the fourth spot. Isom to second. Gaither to third. A little bit further back, we see Daniels. Daniels led a couple laps in this race. Looks like he had somebody around right there. Might have been Chapman. Chapman's going to go around. Daniels also going around here. Heavy contact. You see parts flying off the car. Let's see if we can see what happened to Chapman. He was up there in the battle for second and third. So he's on the outside of the racetrack. He's got Stafford to his inside. So they come off with 4 right here, down into 1. And just a little contact right there. Stafford kind of comes up the racetrack. It looked like Stafford kept trying to hit Chapman to get him to straighten out, but unfortunately it didn't work. And Chapman's going to make some hard contact with the outside wall. So your leader out in front is George. He's already going to put a lap on the 32 of Whiting. Right in front of our leader, there's the 122 getting together. That looked like the 15 of Gaither. So Gaither now falling back, now a lap down at this point. George is now about 0.6 of a second out in front of our second place running Cody Isom. Isom now mired in traffic as he has got Ricky Miles in front of the 15 of Gaither to the outside. Miles has not been an easy car to pass in traffic. Contact right there between the 12 and the 15 is going to put Gaither into the outside wall. So Gaither, one of our early leaders here now, is falling back. He's now a lap down. Your leader is George Isom in second. Stafford now back here in the fourth spot. Doug Smith now up to third. We have not said Doug's name too much here tonight, but he's found himself into the top 3 right now. So we have 9 cars on the lead lap. George is just setting a blistering pace out there right now. But the last time by, the fastest car on the racetrack was Doug George. And George now up to second. He gets around Isom. That's the 26 at Herman up on the outside of the lap down. And here comes Stafford now. Stafford trying to get in this battle here with Isom for third and fourth. But Doug Smith is showing some speed right here. It's about 1/10 of a second slower than our leader that last time by, but he's got himself up into second. Started back in ninth, up 7 spots now. 166 laps down. 33 laps away from the end of stage number 4. Look at the 69 of Miles. Miles has been involved in a few incidents tonight, but he's on the lead lap right now. He's back here in 8th, but I think the leader's coming up on him real quickly. You can see right there in front of our leader, there's George, there's Ricky Miles, and the 5 gets into the wall on the outside, does a good job of keeping up there away from our leader. But Ricky with some contact. Shoot is now the last car out of lap on the lead lap, and George is right there behind him. So Dave Shoot looking to go a lap down. And the 15 of Gaither just comes back up on the racetrack at slow pace, and around goes Shoot, and around goes Gaither. Caution is out. That's the first caution we've seen that was not for an incident. So Shoot is sitting there on pit road. Ricky Miles involved. I can't find Gaither on my timing score. Let's see what happened here. So they threw the caution there. I thought cautions were only going to be thrown at the end of stages, but a caution comes out. So let's see if we can see what happens. So Gaither goes down to the bottom of the racetrack, and he just doors the 122 right there, turns around. Gaither now stuck in the middle of the racetrack. Now let's kind of keep an eye on this to see what happens. And around comes the 98, our leader. He catches a little piece of Isom right there as well. So Gaither just parks it right here in the middle of the racetrack, down on the bottom. 26 right here, so let's keep an eye on the 15 here. See what happens. We're under caution at this point. And he just pulls right up in front of the 75, our leader. And my guess at this point is that I'm pretty sure Gaither may be out of this one. He is out. I'm guessing that may have been a DQ from race control. All right, so it looks like just about everybody in the pits. We actually had an early caution here before the stage. I think race control threw that due to the actions of the 15. So your leader after the pit stops is going to be the 30 of Stafford. Dave Shute right now in second, but on pit road. Involved in that incident. Bill Daniels now in third, but I think Daniels will move up to second here as he passes Shute on the pits. George now up to third. So how many cars we got left on the racetrack? I'm counting 13. 13 out of the 24, so we've lost 11 cars in this race. Thanks for being here with us. It has been a night of action here with the wide open iRacing. Thunder Valley Night Fight. I had to pause because I had to get that back in my head. So Stafford, Daniels, George, that's your top three. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here one more time. 9 different leaders. Whiting has led the most. He is now, where's he at in this race? He's back up to 4th. He's at 64 laps. George with 45. Gaither's led 44. Gaither's now out of this race. Stafford also led double digits with 10. Then it was Daniels, Miles, Devin Smith, and Marshall Taylor and Cody Troyer have all led at least one lap in this race. Alright, we're going to jump on board with our leader here on the restart of Stafford. Get a little telemetry. We haven't been playing with a lot of our toys here tonight. Most of these overlays and graphics all brought to you by our good friends over at Collateral Damage Sports Network. Shane Cochran over there. If you use SDK for anything and you're looking for some of these great graphics that you've seen on the screen, different overlays, jump over to the SDK Discord. Find Shane there in the marketplace. It looks like the 122 trying to get his laps back there on the outside. That's Troyer. So we'll have 13 cars on the racetrack. They will all be on the lead lap. All right, lights are out. We're going to go green this time by. We're going to roll off turn number 4. Pace car will pull down. It's up to Stafford. Bring us to the line. Green is in the air one more time. You can see him on the pedal, going through the gears, up to 3rd, up to 4th before we make it to the first turn. Stafford has the lead. George right there behind him. Smith able to hang on to this, stay in the top 5, but he's got Daniels to his outside. Here comes Doug Smith on the bottom. 39 and Chapman still involved in this race. Here comes George. George has been one of the fastest cars all night long. He gets up underneath Stafford for that top spot here across the line. Lap 177. We're 23 laps away from the end of stage number 4 at this point. At lap 200, here comes Daniels. Daniels looking racy. He's got up alongside the 30 as well. So here comes the Oreo sponsor number 2, looking to take second spot away, and Doug Smith looking to follow him by. Chapman in the 39 right there. Isom as well. We've got a good battle going on up front right now. George just kind of set sail with them. We've got 6 cars all going at it here for the top 6 through 7. Whiting right there back in this battle. Isom right there. Whiting with a little mistake. Has to check up. He is going to lose that spot to Taylor. So Taylor now up to 7th. Daniels able to clear this battle. He's setting sail. See if he can reel in George. Smith now to 3rd. Stafford in 4th. Here comes Isom. Isom trying to get a run underneath Stafford, trying to follow Whiting into the outside wall. Hard contact, but he's going to keep going. He's going to get clear of Taylor for that 7th spot. Whiting's making that outside line work, but he's taking some concrete with him. He's now going to fall back to 8th once again. You can see a few drivers hitting that outside wall. And around goes Stafford. The 30's going to go around. Gonna get it back up, and he gets into the 32. More contact with the 32. They just keep shoving right here. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened there, because I actually do not see that on my incident report. So we'll have to see if we can jump back a lap here and see what happened. So let's keep an eye here on the 30. It looks like the 32 sticks his nose in it. They get together. 32 goes by the outside. Stafford just turns right into him. More contact here. The 122 is going to get involved. Stafford just keeps shoving down the straightaway. No damage, because we're going to keep going here. We'll get back to live time. So more retaliation combat going on here at Bristol in the super late models. But Ethan George way out in front of this thing now, half a second to the good. He's got Bill Daniels. Daniels trying to reel him in. Last time by, Daniels was a little bit quicker, about 400ths of a second. Isom now up to 5th. Trying to look underneath the 98 of Smith. That's going to be for 4th. 13 laps left to go here in stage number 4. Oh, just like clicked off of that. The 98 is going to go around. Contact, heavy contact into the outside wall. Go back and take a quick look at that. So it looks like the 12 looking underneath of Chapman here. Excuse me. 98 of Smith. So let's see what happens as they come off of turn number 4 here. There's a looks like the 12 kind of came up the racetrack, gets into the left rear quarter of the 98. Around he goes. Back to live time now. Your leader, 9 laps left to go in stage number 4 of this 250 lap race. Will be at lap number 200. George, Daniels, Chapman. That's your top 3. Then it's Cody Isom, Dave Shute. Hayden Hammer's got himself up into the top 7 right now with 26. Been involved in quite a few incidents early. The waste management, number 26. All right, we now got 10 cars left on the lead lap. Here's your leader one more time, the 78 of Ethan George. He's been the class of the field most of the night. Whiting had a good car, but he's gotten involved in a few things. He looks like he is now out of this race, so we're down to 12. Doug Smith being the last car on the racetrack, it looks like at this point, but he's a lap down. 5 laps left to go. We're going to have 50 laps, 12 cars left on the racetrack. Everybody will be on the lead lap when we go back to green flag racing after this stage is over with. Let's see if anybody has anything for Ethan George. I think one of the only cars that really did probably was Jordan Whiting. And Jordan now out of this race. All right, 4 laps left to go here in stage number 4. Crank it up, Cam, there for you. All right, back to live action. Across the line, 2 to go. Here for Ethan George to get us to the end of stage number 4. Tyler Chapman back here a little ways in the 3rd spot. Cody Isom right there in 4th. All right, next time by caution, we'll fly down the back straightaway. Here comes our leader, Ethan George, in the 78. Gonna come off at turn number 4. Caution in the air. That is the end of our stages. We'll pit one more time. And then we'll do the last 50 laps. I'm not sure if they're going to throw a caution in the last 50 or not, but 50 laps to decide the winner here at Bristol Super Late Models. All right, we're going to jump out one more time. Another quick word here from AI Chief. If you need an edge out there, get AI Chief Racing, the virtual crew chief that calls strategy, manages fuel, and isn't afraid to call you out. Stop guessing. Start winning. AIChiefRacing.com/DRSN. We'll be right back.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we're back live one more time. Caution flag in the air here. Finish off stage number 4. We only had one other caution besides the cautions at the stage breaks, and that was looked like that was to give a DQ to the 15 of Brandon Gaither. So you see the 98 of Smith and the 31 of Marshall Taylor out there getting their laps back. Looks like we'll have about 45 to 46 laps left to go. We go back to green flag racing. Keep an eye on the 30 of Stafford. Moved up 13 spots. Coden Troyer right there in the 4th spot now in the 122. We've seen him involved in a few incidents throughout the night. But he's up 18 spots, started in 22nd, now up to 4th. But he's got Dave Shute right behind him. Dave's been running pretty well. From what we've seen for the last few stages here, I think this is Ethan George's race to lose. Unless he just makes a big mistake or gets involved in something with a lap car somewhere, which we have seen happen to our leader more than once here tonight. All right, lights are out. We're coming through 3 and 4 here. See the iRacing pace car pull off down pit road off of turn number 4. George is going to bring us to the line. Single file restart here. Green flag is in the air. All these 7 cars up here in the front right now. George, Stafford, Isom. We're back to green flag racing. Stafford gets up around Isom for that 2nd spot. Actually, it looked like we lost somebody else that was up there. I'm not sure who it was. George, caution is out. Caution out one more time. I'm not sure what that was about, but it looks like race control decided they did not like that start. Everybody was kind of, I only saw like 6 cars nose to tail when the green flag flew. I'm not sure. We saw drivers down in the pits or somebody was holding everybody up. See if we can see what happened on that restart just for the hell of it here. So Miles gets turned around off the nose of the 98. Got a little pile up right there. And that's why we only saw a few cars lined up there. Let's take a look at them one time that we know what happened right here. So let's watch Smith here in the 98. They're weaving around trying to warm the tires up, and they just get together. That turns Miles around. The 31 is going to get involved here with Taylor. So race control decides to throw the caution. Get a different restart. So up front's going to be George. Stafford now is going to be in 2nd. Isom 3rd. Troyer 4th still. All right, we got 43 to go. We're coming across the line. If we see lights are still on, so we're going to go around at least another lap and a half. So we're going to go back to green flag racing with about 41 to go. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that sub button. Give us a like. Alright, so Ethan George, Joe Stafford, Cody Isom, Cody Troyer, Dave Shute, Tyler Chapman, Hayden Herman, Marshall, Taylor, Doug Smith, John Miles. That's your top 10. 11th is Ricky Miles. Ricky's coming down the pit road right now. Looks like he's going to take advantage here, get some new tires here late. And that is our 11 cars on the racetrack. Bill Daniels in the 2. Looks like he is retired for the night. Lights are out. No, lights are still on, actually. So we're going to go around one more time as we're getting stuff sorted out. All right, lights are out this time, so we're going to go around one more time. We'll get back to green flag racing. Green flag flies. We'll have 40 laps left to go. We've got 11 cars left on the racetrack out of the 24 that started. We had 38 cars show up for practice. Only 24 took the green. We're down to 11. All right, let's see if anybody has anything for George. Stafford's been looked pretty strong, but the 78's just been the strongest car on the racetrack for most of the night. So let's see what happens here. Rolling to the restart zone. George with a good jump. And actually, Stafford had to check up right there. That lets Isom get around to the outside. Troyer back there in 4th. Let's keep an eye on us up here in the front. Stafford gets a little bit loose. He's going to come back up to the racetrack. Almost collects the 12 of Isom, but able to get it gathered back up. A little mistake there from the 30, just about caused himself and the 12, but no contact. But in the meantime, George already half a second out in front of the field. Isom, Stafford, Troyer, that's your top 4. Back in 5th, it's a 39 of Chapman. Chapman has also shown some speed, but he's been involved in a couple incidents as well. So right now, this looks like Ethan George race to lose, unless somebody can find something a little more pain. Oh, and I say that George collects the outside wall. That's going to let Isom and Stafford reel him in here a little bit. Let's see if they can get up alongside, give George a challenge. Ethan George gets himself gathered back up, and since there's no damage setting in this race, doesn't look like it's going to hurt him too much. He's still a half a second out to the good. Here's our battle for 2nd and 3rd. Got a good battle going on back here for 7th. Hayden Hammer and Marshall Taylor. Taylor down to the bottom, can't quite get underneath the 26. Doug Smith was leading here not too long ago, led into the last stage. He's now up to 9th. Caution is out. Caution is out. It looks like the 30 of Stafford going around. We've got a pile up. Got somebody upside down. Not quite sure who that was. We'll have to see a replay and figure that out. So caution. But it looks like we will have some cautions here in the last segment. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Saw the 12. The 12 looks like he might have been involved. That's not a very good camera angle. So that's the 12 going upside down. Let's back this up here a little bit. So let's see what happens here with Isom. And you see Stafford right there behind him. So the 12 and the 30. This is for 2nd and 3rd. Head down the back straight where this is going to happen as we come off of turn number 4 here. Watch Stafford take a look underneath Isom here through 3 and 4. Just gives him a little tap there off of 4. Gets back into him again a 3rd time. Turns the 12 around. And here comes the 39. And Chapman's going to lift the 12 upside down. It's going to tumble down the front straight. Carried on the nose of the 39. Go back and look at that here from a little bit different angle. We'll just rewind. I don't like rewinding, but let's just do it anyway. Go back and go to the chopper view here. See if we can get a wider angle. What's going on? That's not going to be a good one to use. Either is that one. All right, we'll look here from the fan cam. You can already see the action starting out here with the 12 and the 30. And here comes Chapman involved in it. The 122 involved. The 20. Just about everybody else left on the racetrack involved in this except for George. I think George was the only car on the racetrack not involved in this incident. But we are under caution here on lap 220. 30 laps left to go. A big ride there for the 12 Isom, but he's still going to find himself in 4th. Stafford back to 6th. So Cody Troyer in the 122 started this race in 22nd. Now up to 2nd. Dave Shute in third, Cody Isom, Doug Smith, Joe Stafford, Tyler Chapman, Marshall Taylor, John Miles, Hayden Herman, Ricky Miles. That is our 11 cars left on the racetrack. Miles in the 5 car. He's had his struggles here tonight. He is going to needs to catch the back of the field there before we go green flag racing. So we got a couple cautions here. A couple cautions fly since our last stage. We got 29 laps left to go in this race. Lap 221, 30 laps left to go on my other time this morning. We are on lap 221, 30 to go. Lights are out on the pace car. Roll down the back straightaway. All right, let's see if you think George can hang on to this. Code and Troy are right there behind him. Dave Shute in third, Isom in the 4th spot after going for that wild ride down the front straight. Green flag is in the air. George's going to carry the lead into turn number 1. Here comes Troyer and Shute. That's your 2nd and 3rd place cars. Isom in 4th. Isom looks to be a little bit quicker than Shute. He's going to take a look to the inside in 3 and 4. Does not quite have the run. They're going to see if he can get up alongside him down the front straightaway. See Stafford right there behind this battle. And Doug Smith right there. That's for set 5th and 6th. So Stafford now in the 30. He is going to clear. Looks like he's going to clear Smith here off of 4. Let's keep an eye on Isom. As he gets underneath Shute going into 1 and 2. Catches the apron just a little bit, but able to hang on to it, but it loses some momentum. Shute able to clear him there for 3rd off of 2. Here comes Stafford in the 30, closing back up on the bottom bumper of the 12 one more time. It's Shute, Isom, and Stafford. You can see Stafford kind of hitting the brakes a little bit to stay off the 12. Troyer's going to move up the racetrack. That's going to let Shute get by him. And Troyer comes down the racetrack, catches the 75. It looked like Troyer made a mistake, got loose there, and turned himself sideways and came down and caught 75 of Shute. We'll take a quick look at it here from a wide angle. And you can see Troyer gets into the wall, comes down the racetrack, actually catches the 12 and the 75 at the same time. But Isom able to drive off. Shute's going to end up with a little bit of damage on the outside wall, so it looks like a mistake there from Troyer. Troyer now parked down in the pits. Looks like he's going to take some tires. Your leader is still George. Here comes Isom now going to, a little okey doke there, as we like to call it from Isom. Did a little fakey like he was going to pit and then pulls back out. All right, we're down to 22 laps out of the 250. George, Isom, Chapman, that's your top 3 right now. Doug Smith looks like he's going to go down and take some service here late. I don't know how many sets of tires these guys had. I'm guessing maybe unlimited. All right, we're still 11 cars left in this race. Troyer being the last car now in 11th after that incident. Just made a mistake there off the corner, caught the outside wall, came down, caught the 75 of Shute and the 12 of Isom. That's our latest caution flag. So we've had 3 cautions here in this final stage of the event. We are, let's see, we've got 22 laps left to go. We're going to come across the line. Lights are on as the pace car. We're going to go around at least another lap and a half. We're going to go green flag racing with 20 left to go. All right, my name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. I want to thank you again for spending all your time here with us tonight. More events coming your way next week. Tuesday night, the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series at Kern County. It looks like they turned the lights out on the pace car. We're going to go green off before this time by. There goes the 31 trying to get a lap back. We're going to go green. It's going to be George bringing us to the restart zone. Isom right there with him. Isom tried to anticipate it, had to check up, and that's going to let George get away by already almost a half a second into turn number 1. And caution is in the air. Caution in the air one more time. Race control did not like that restart. Looks like we had Ricky Miles crash. Did he go around here or something? This will be the second time we had an incident here on the restart. We'll see what happens here. Stafford behind Miles. Looks like green flag's coming out, and Miles just doesn't look like he just can't get up to speed. I don't know if he lost on the tires or what. But Stafford gets in the back of him, turns him around. Caution in the air once again. All right, so this last stage has been littered with a few cautions. We're down to 11 cars out of the 24 that started. All right, George, Isom, Chapman, your top three. We're going to see if we can get this race underway. Lights are still on. The pace cars are coming across the line. We'll go around one more time. We'll restart this race with 17 laps left to go. Lights are actually still on again. I'm not sure why. The lights should have went out if we're going to go green next time by. Interesting camera angle from the TV tower hanging in the center of Bristol Speedway. It'd get me dizzy. Spent a lot of years around the dirt track standing in infields back in the days when we used to pit in the middle of the racetrack all the time. At every single racetrack, and you sit there and spin sideways and spin in circles all night long. I'm surprised we never got dizzy and fell over. Alright, we're going to go around once again, come across the line here, 17 to go. I think we're going to go green with about 16 laps left to go at this point. And they turn the lights off again halfway down the back chute. Alright, we're going to go green here. Next time by... Oh, we were on the front chute. Now we're halfway down the back chute. Cars left on the racetrack. Ethan, George, Cody Isom, Tyler Chapman, Hayden Herman, Joe Stafford. That's your top 5. Then it's Dave Shute, John Miles, Cody Troyer, Doug Smith, Marshall, Tyler Taylor. That's your top 10. Then Ricky Miles back in 11th. Last car on the racetrack. We're going to go green. George's going to bring us to the line. Green flag in the air here. One more time. Isom looks down to the bottom of the racetrack. We head into 1 and 2. Look at the 39 and Chapman on the outside. He's going to try to make his way around Herman there, but he falls back and made a little mistake right there. That's going to let Stafford get by as well. Stafford now back up to 4th. Isom all over the back of Ethan. George looks to the outside, heading into 1 and 2. He's going to take a look down to the bottom. So you can see Isom's trying to take a little bit of a run where he's going in to the corner in the middle of the racetrack and then trying to diamond it off and make a run down the hill to gain some speed off the corner. But now he's got the 26 of Herman all over the back of him, so he's got to protect the bottom of the racetrack. Stafford, and the 39 is going to get together with Herman. Herman going to go around, gets collected by the 31. We got caution in there one more time. Look like contact there with the 39 of Chapman and the 26 of Herman. So let's see if we can see what happened here. So Stafford on the outside, Chapman flipping on the bottom. And it looked like Chapman might have thought he had a hole there on the bottom of the racetrack as Herman had moved up to the center, but it closed up in a hurry. They get together. Around goes Herman, the 31 of Taylor also involved here. So we've got caution one more time here. Caution flies for the 10th time. 4 of those were for stages, so we've had six cautions for incidents, or 6 incidents for 6 cautions for cause, as they would say. We've got a few drivers down on pit road. We see Ethan George is going to make a pit stop. Your leader looks like he's going to come down and take fuel and tires. Looks like he's taking all 4. See if they pull up the left side of the car. They are, so he's taking all 4 tires. Ricky Miles going to make his way down pit road, so that's going to hand the lead over to the 30 at Stafford. Stafford last pitted back on lap 20. So you don't need tires. I've seen drivers make 100 to 120 laps here on tires. So you don't necessarily have to take tires, but in this situation, if you've got the chance to, I mean, there's only 11 cars on the racetrack, 11 on the lead lap. You might as well come in, as George is going to come back out in 6th. We have 11 laps left to go. So So it's going to be down under 10 by the time the green flag flies. Alright. A little bit different order here as we take the green flag. Going to take the green flag here. It's going to be Joe Stafford, Tyler Chapman, Dave Shute, Cody Troyer, Doug Smith. That's your top 5. We go back to green flag racing. Eddie George, your leader at the caution, back in 6th. Isom also pitted right there. Going to be in 7th. Marshall Taylor in the 8th spot. Ricky Miles now to 9th. Hayden Herman 10th. And John Miles in the 69. Back there in the 11th spot. That's all the cars that are left on the racetrack. Every car on the lead lap, as they do here with every single race with the wide open and also with the dare. Everybody gets their lap back on every single caution. So 11 cars left in the race, 11 cars on the lead lap. Anybody's race at this point. I'm going to keep my eye on the 78 at George and the 12 at Ison. They're both on fresh tires. Nobody else in front of them took tires on that caution flag, so let's see how this plays out. Green flag is in the air for Stafford. Looks like he's not really getting on the throttle too hard right there. It's going to back everybody up. Stafford, Chapman, Shute. Let's take a wide shot here. Caution is out once again. It looks like the 78 of George involved with the 5 of Miles here. Let's see if we can see what happened. All right, we're coming around for the restart. It looks like everybody's kind of anticipating the start. It looks like the 12 of Isom was looking for a gap on the outside, jumped to the outside at George. Gonna get together, turn George into the wall. Miles comes, I think Miles just spun there out of trying to avoidance, as I would say. So let's take a look here at Miles viewing this. So we can see up there in front. Who's that in front? That's a 30. That's Taylor. Yeah, so let's look here from Taylor's view. You can see it right here in front. Yeah, so it looks like Isom just tried to make a hole there on the outside. It really wasn't there. George moved up the racetrack. They get together. That turns George around. George now going to take the pit stop one more time, take on some more tires, it looks like. He's now going to be the last car on the lead lap back on the 11th. Joe Stafford found his way to the front of this thing. Chapman is 2nd. All right, this last segment has been just caution. It's been a caution fest, as we're going to call it. That's going to be our nickname for it. We're now under caution for the 11th time. 7th time now for incident. Started with 24, we got 11 left. All 11 cars on the lead lap. The pace car is going to pull off. We're going to come green. Green flag is in the air. Stafford on the throttle. Chapman right there with him. We got 5 laps left to go. Let's see if George can make his way back up. We're going to keep an eye on that 78. Here's your battle for the lead, though. Chapman looks to the inside of Stafford. Heading into 3, does not have the run. Stafford stays up the racetrack. Chapman stays off that left for a quarter. They're going to be side by side here. One more time as they get down into 1 and 2. 78 of George is coming. They get together. The leaders are going to get together. Chapman got together with 30. We got caution in the air once again. I'm not sure what it was about. I don't see any incidents on my. Stafford and Chapman had gotten together right there, but no incident. George had worked his way back up to 8th already. He'd gotten around 3 cars there on the restart. So it looks like we're going to have our first of our green-white checkered attempts. I'm not sure how many green-white checkered attempts we have. Let me see if it says it anywhere on the broad. I don't see it. Alright, Joe Stafford with the lead here on this restart. Here comes base car. It kind of scares me every time it does that. All right, lights are already out on the pace car. I think we're going to go green this time by. Stafford Chapman shoot. Keep an eye on the 780 pitted here. Back on lap 243 for fresh tires. He's the only driver that did pit right there. So let's see if the 78 can make his way up through the field. Lights are back on. All right, green-white checkered attempt coming first of, I don't know how many. I'm guessing at least 3. That's pretty much the norm. All right, still 11 cars left on the racetrack. Lights are on the pace car. We'll go green, a lap and a half. Lights are out now, so they're going to call it. We're going to go green this time by. It's going to be Joe Stafford, Tyler Chapman, Dave Shute, Cody Troyer, Doug Smith. That's your top 5. Keep your eye on the 78 of Ethan George. He's been fast, but he's mired back there in 8th spot. Let's see if he can find a way to the front. He's going to look to the outside of the 26 on the restart. So up front, it is Stafford and Chapman. Looks like a mistake right there from Smith. Smith's going to go around. It looks like we're going to stay green flag in the air. No, we're going to... Yeah, white flag is in the air for Stafford. Stafford on the outside, Chapman on the bottom. We're going to come up at turn number 2. Head down the back straightaway. Stafford's got a good run, but here comes Chapman. Chapman takes a look underneath. He thinks better of it, does not move up the racetrack, and across the line, it's going to be Joe Stafford with the win. Chapman's second. Thought Chapman had a run through 3 and 4, but had to check up. It was either that or get into the left rear quarter of Stafford. Stafford did a good job of giving Chapman enough room, but not too much room down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Ethan George was able to get himself back up to 5th. So your race winner is going to be the 30 of Joe Stafford. Coming home in second, Tyler Chapman in the 39. Dave Shute third. Nice podium finish there for the 75 of Shute. Marshall Taylor in 4th. Ethan George 5th. Cody Troyer 6th. Aiden Harmon in the 7th spot. Cody Isom, John Miles, and Ricky Miles. That rounds out your top 10. And then back in 11th, the last car finishing the race was the 78 of Doug Smith. So we can see Stafford here making his way up to the victory lane that I can't see here, so I must have my graphics turned down a little bit where I can't see him up there. So, and my screen is just up in the. I got all the pit stuff off, so that's probably why we're not seeing him up there. Let's take a look here at this lap one more time. Let's take a look up here at the front of the field. And you can see Chapman right there on the back bumper of Stafford as they come off the corner here. It's going to take the white flag. Has a look to the inside of 1 and 2 and does not have enough pace. And you can see him check up right there to keep the car from pushing up into the 30s. Kind of the same thing you're going to see down here in 3 and 4. He has a chance to make a dive, but has to get off the throttle a little bit or push up into the 30. Shoot right there behind him in the 3rd spot. So that's your podium right there. Let's see if anybody is in the waiting room. I don't see anybody in the waiting room for an interview. That is going to round out our night here at Bristol for the super late models. Alright, so if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate you spending your night with us. I know you could have spent your night doing something else here on a Sunday night, but thanks for being here with us. Your winner tonight's going to be the 30 of Joe Stafford. So Tuesday night, don't forget to come back for the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. If you like sprint car racing, if you like dirt track racing, you're going to see some of the top guys in all of iRacing here Tuesday night. They put on one fantastic show, and they're going to be at the short track at Kern County out in California Tuesday night. Thursday night, we'll be here for the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series, and Friday night, we'll round out the week with the Half Decent Racing League. We're going to go ahead and check out here for the night. It's been 250 laps of action here for the wide open iRacing Thunder Valley Night Fight It's been an exciting one. We had 24 car start, 11 cars finished the race, but in the end, it was Joe Stafford bringing home the win. So another night, another story. Thanks for being part of it here with us at DRSN. I'm Chris Murphy. Until the next green flag, take care of each other, and we'll see you at the track. Good night.